good afternoon. Welcome to our home and our collection of Mexican folk art. I'm Margaret Shellenberg. This is my husband, Fred Shellenberg. And I have to say that even before we married, Fred probably knew he was marrying a collector because I had already collected a few kind of treasures. I was born here in San Antonio and grew up shopping at Kerr's Curio Shop on Commerce Street. Kind of was a love affair from the beginning. Fred and I moved in about 1996 to Mexico City, and half of what we have today we took with us. So being in Mexico City for almost 20 years was a great time to shop, but I had done a lot of collecting before we ever got there. And I have to say that this is one of the best pieces probably that we have. It's an example of one of a kind, the uniqueness of an artist's vision. It's also a great example of different materiality because you find Mexican folk art made of just about everything. And this happens to be made of corn and beans and chia seed and little corn husks. It's just a wonderful example of an artist being inspired by what's around him.
Probably about 1999, 2000, but I was doing some bike races down there. And we were always visiting churches. A good friend of ours was doing a paper at the University of the Americas in Cholula. And his focus was on 15th, 16th century churches. So we would always look out these churches. And Margaret discovered one in this suburb of Cuernavaca to see it, and it had been restored with funds from Banamex. It was a terrific restoration. But she also knew that there was a lady there that they did the figures here for the curandera. So we're walking around one afternoon, and she asked this little girl on the street corner, "Do you know where Donna Filipa is?" And she says, "Oh, it's my grandma." So we said, "Really? Where does she live?" "Well, it's around the corner." So we went over there, and sure enough, she was there. Here's her photo. And she explained how she was making toys, the juguetes for the curandera. She showed us how they worked, how they arranged them around the person to take care of the illness, to blow away the bad winds. And she showed how she would blow on this one. Anyway, Margaret commissioned this one. This is a commission that Margaret did, but she bought all these other ones that Doña Philip.
For me, there's no high and there's no low in Mexican folk art. It is all its own wonderful exuberant self. And whether it's a tray that comes from one piece of wood, this is not pieced together wood, but these gorgeous colors that over time have just mellowed and are so lovely. And these pottery banks here, little fruits, probably the first thing I ever collected because that's what Kerr's Curio Shop on the river would have had at the time. 10 cents each, $1 each at some point maybe, but still absolutely charming.